What's up, guys? You know who it is. It's your boy Kenny with JDM Muscle, and I've had a few people kind of getting on me about my hella horns being pretty nasty. I painted them white, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, and a few people have said, why don't you touch those up or respray them because they look like garbage. So in this video, I'm going to show how easy it is just to take off and respray your hella horns. So here we go. Alright guys, so as you can see, I do have a Killer Bee radiator shroud. Now, just for video purposes, I have pulled some of these screws already. It'd be 1, 2, 3, looks like 4 screws, so those do come off. And of course you would have to remove your 2 radiator clamps, but I did this just to save a little time. Sets this to the side. Then once we set that to the side, it's pretty easy to get this front grill part off. It's one clip here, one clip there, one clip there, one clip there. The piece comes off as a whole. Pretty easy. At that point, we are exposed right to the hella horns. For video purposes, I did remove a bunch of the screws. It comes with 2, 4, 6, 7 screws on each one. Like I said, I did remove most of them except for the last ones. Pretty easy. Just like that, they're just little screws. And this front cover comes right off. Make sure to hold tight because this piece of it is going to want to come with it. So let's just put one of the screws back in there for now. Alright guys, it's time to start stripping that paint. I was able to pick up the Duplicolor paint stripper. You can get it from any automotive parts store. I believe it's about $8.99. I was able to get 20% off just working with a lot of cars all the time. They give me a pretty good discount. I was able to pick it up for about $6.99. So let me show you. It's going to take about 3 coats, hopefully, just to peel that old paint off. It says wait 5 to 10 minutes, so let's see. Don't mind the little one running around. Alright guys, let's shake the can for about 1 minute. Make sure it's all shook up. Let's just try to put some even coats. Not that I think it gives a, I don't think it matters, since we're just using it to strip it off. So let's just pile it on. I've never used this before, so I don't know how abrasive it is, but I would recommend, if you can, put down some cardboard. I actually have a pretty big driveway, so I was able to throw down some old shipping box in the middle of my driveway. I'm going to spray it. Let's let it sit on there. Alright guys, at this point it's been about 10 minutes. So let's take a sponge or maybe a bristle pad, whatever you have. Let's scrape it off. Do put some gloves on. This is some pretty abrasive stuff. Let's see if 10 minutes was long enough or if we should wait. So it is coming off pretty well. Looks like I am going to have to do another coat after this one. Alright guys, so we're back. It is another day. Yesterday I did end up having to use the paint stripper. I probably applied it, I'm not going to lie, 6 to 8 times easily. What I did find worked the best was a wire brush. I've got a bunch of steel and brass. This wasn't really a metal that I cared too much about because I knew I was going to put a couple coats. So the paint stripper did do its job. Best thing I saw was probably let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes. That way it could really eat at it and it would just bubble it up and you could almost peel it off or scrape it right off. So I'll show you what the parts look like now that they're all cleaned up. They turned out great. Maybe a little advice on most of these parts. I do have access to a sandblaster. Perhaps that's what I should have done on this. But hey, I'll show you the parts. Let's get to the good stuff. Let's start spraying them. Alright guys, kind of ghetto, but this is what I've got going on. It is pretty windy out, so where I normally spray my parts and hang them isn't going to work today. So I did hang them by some fishing string in the garage. I pulled out my Subaru. The Honda's still far enough away where I know it's not going to get to it. Now all my products I do like to hit with a adhesion promoter. Same thing in Duplicolor. Picked it up for about $8. I'll probably do two light coats on these. Keep them about 5 to 10 minutes apart. Alright guys, second coat with the adhesion promoter. So I'm going to let that sit for a few minutes. I am going to add my next layer of actual paint color. I'm going to hit it with my red in about 5 to 10 minutes. That way this is still a little sticky and it'll accept that paint that I'm about to do. Alright guys, so it is time to start painting with my actual color. I chose red just because it kind of accents some of the parts of my STI. You know, it is Subaru, so some of the pieces are red. I just chose an acrylic enamel. I'm going to hit these with probably 3 coats total. My first 2 are going to be a little bit lighter, and that third one I am going to lay it on. So let's get started. I always say, you know, try to pick a well-vented area. That's why I chose the tip of my garage, so let's get started. Alright guys, time for coat 2. Of course, got to spin on me, right? Alright guys, just hit everything with the third coat. As you can see, everything is much darker red now that that third layer was put on a little thicker. Now what I'm getting ready to hit this with is by VHT, the high temperature engine enamel. It's just a gloss clear. It's just a gloss clear. Sorry about that. This is basically just to protect that finish of the red. Chip resistant. It's actually for engine blocks and engine parts, so I know, just because I've used this on other pieces, that it is going to be hard enough to protect just my hella horns. So I'm going to do 2 light coats on this. Alright guys, here's my 2 light coats of my gloss clear. Alright guys, at this point everything is done. I've hit it with my adhesion promoter to start with. I then hit it with my red paint, and then I finished it up with a clear gloss. That way to hold that color in. As you can see, it is a very rich dark red. So next time you see them on, they're actually going to be on the front of the car, and I hope that it turned out okay. And I hope that everybody found this video helpful, and give me some ideas for the next one. Thanks guys. Alright guys, time for installation. Make sure, because it is a 2-piece for the hella horn. Let's slowly put all the pieces back together. That way we don't scratch the fresh paint. I'm going to do 1 screw at a time just to take it slow and easy. I'm going to speed this video up a little bit. I don't think everybody needs to see me putting in 1 screw at a time. Alright, now that the hella horns are back on, it is time to insert these small clips. I took them off just because I was actually driving the car while I was doing the rest of everything. You just set right in, 4 of them. Then we can insert the front grille back on. Unfortunately, mine has cracked and broken. Gotta love Michigan roads. But just lays on and clips back in. little bit of love and tender pushing. All right. All right, so radiator shroud is on. Let's just tighten these down a little bit, because after these two, I do have one I need to stick right over here, then one more here. They are different sizes. The main radiator bolts are actually 12 mils. The other ones are 10. Okay guys, everything is installed. Let's take a peek. I'd have to say they look very good. They were white before. I figured red should match the STI look. So I hope this video was informative, guys. Thank you.